Hello. A lot of you know me as Weird Wilbur. A lot of you know my real name. I've emailed a lot of you. I've been on a kind of a rant lately about the Texas CPS, and it's always made in a hurry at night when I'm finished with everything else. But I wanted to make this video to explain to you exactly what I do think about the CPS and exactly the mistakes that I do believe that they're making. I want to give you a little background about me. I'm a licensed real estate agent in the state of Texas. My wife is a broker. Our family ranges from Austin to Los Angeles, and over the years we've dealt in residential real estate, commercial real estate, a lot of multifamily. Before the crash, we helped people with investments. When the crash happened and everything, and all the lawsuits flew because it had to be somebody's fault, I found myself representing my wife and others in depositions before the Texas Real Estate Commission. And I've never lost a case there. I've never come up with a bad decision. And that's not patting myself on the back. I'm just telling you that so you'll know that when I'm telling you the things I'm about to tell you, I'm not just talking out the hat. The Texas Real Estate Commission and district courts go by certain rules. There are rules of evidence. There's, if you say something about someone, it's all very well, but you need to have a piece of paper in your hand proving what you're saying, or some kind of a witness proving it. The Texas Child Protective Services does not go by these rules at all. They come up with safety plans, which are little things when they come into a home and sees a child and place it somewhere else. They pull out a little form. Now this form is not connected with anything to do with the district court or anything like that. They usually pull a pencil out and they pencil in the safety plan of what they expect to happen, and it's all this unannounced visits and this and that and blase, blase. There's always a vague threat somewhere in the middle of it that if you don't do exactly what they say, they'll do this or they'll do that. When they take evidence, their evidence is always lackluster, alleged. If I were to see a person rob a store, I take a picture of it with this camera right here, and I took that camera into court and say, I saw Joe Blow rob this store and here's the picture, that's called evidence. The way the CPS takes evidence is like this. They hear of something that is alleged to have happened, then they use the term reason to believe. So, so-and-so is alleged to have used drugs. We have reason to believe the children are unsafe. There's no evidence. They ain't got no bag of dope. They ain't got no photographs, no fingerprints, no arrests, no police reports, no nothing. But they have an alleged reason to believe. They also twist and turn words and write stuff down. I interviewed the CPS right here on this very porch. And one of the things that came out of their mouths is they said that my daughter-in-law Jackie is on heroin. She's a mainline heroin addict. Well, that's silly. It's not. And I told them that. I said, no, Jackie's not on heroin. She's a little pothead. And I said it just like that. That transcribed into their report. They have alleged drug use, reason to believe grandfather said daughter-in-law uses drugs. That's not what I said. That's not what I meant. It was an off-the-cuff statement they used against my daughter-in-law. When I meet with these people in their little get-togethers for their planning stage, I meet with these people and they come up with little things that are completely out of line. They voluntarily took my grandson Tristan off his epileptic seizure medicine. And I've said it again and again and again. His epileptic medicine was prescribed by Dr. Kyle Morrow at Scott and White Memorial Hospital. I'm sorry, wrong doctor. Dr. Chris. Morrow was Lydia's doctor. Dr. Chris, after a week's observation and an extensive MRI in which the child actually seizured during the MRI. Well, CPS person decided they was going to take him off of that. During one of these meetings, I simply asked in the same voice I'm speaking now, why is my grandson off of his seizure medicine? And she gave me a vague answer about they were reappraising this and reappraising that. And all I said was, who made that decision? You? Well, the old lady over here who can't hold a job at Walmart and taking notes writes down, grandparents are hostile to the development of these young adults getting their children back. She also wrote down that we were hostile in getting them to her classes. Well, tonight at 9 o'clock, my wife, Jackie, and Timmy are going to one of these parenting classes in Killeen. Well, I sit over in my office and click on the computer. I don't go to parenting classes. I am a 58-year-old grandfather of 13 and 4 kids, and I don't need some ex-Walmart worker telling me how to change a diaper. I'm not going to put up with it. I'm not going to play with them. I'm not going to placate them. I'm not going to indulge in their fantasies. Now, what they have on my daughter-in-law right now is she gets the water turned off at her house that she was living in. And Jackie was dumb enough to call the CPS thinking it was somebody that was going to help her to get her water back on. Well, now they're going to allege, reason to believe, she also took her kids to California for Christmas, and they used that to go into court, at Judge Hemingway's court, to relieve her of her kids and put them in foster care. Nothing could be sillier. She came back from California on cue, surrendered her kids, they took them away from her. But they went into court and they alleged that I retracted some of my statements. I did not retract any of my statements. I've written several letters to the director of the CPS and the Attorney General. I'm getting with other law enforcement people right now. I did not allege or retract anything. I told the truth. I stand by what I said, and that's the end of it. These people, in conclusion, have to be brought into court. These people with the CPS must be made to adhere to at least the same rules as the Texas Real Estate Commission. They need to learn the rules of evidence. This innuendo for the good of the children, blase, blase, is not going to work. They might do some good somewhere, but I can't see where it's at. I propose that Governor Perry dissolve the Texas CPS, take a task force from the Texas DPS and assign them to the protection of our children. At least they have the power to arrest, and they don't allege anything. They make arrests where arrests are required. They go to court, and they adhere to the rules of jurisprudence. It's Sunday, so I guess I should give you all a spiritual message here. Okay? In the Bible it says, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord." I'll go with that, as long as he don't take too long and I get to watch.